So we've been talking about these discharge petitions that the House has teed up. The one about the Epstein files that already passed with unanimous, basically, support. And then the other one that I talked about yesterday, the one with collective bargaining. Now, there are other ones they are talking about using. They are talking about doing a discharge petition potentially for the ACA credits. There's a few others they are talking about. And this many discharge petitions is unusual. I've talked about how Mike Johnson and his position as Speaker is weakening. Well, now it is being reported that Mike Johnson may be considering changing the House rules to change the threshold needed for a discharge petition to get around the Speaker. Right now, it takes 218 votes, which is a majority of the House. And he may want to change the House rules to go to something like a supermajority, maybe 60%, or maybe 2/3, 67%, something like that. And that would be a problem for going around the Speaker. But he's talking about doing it. However, he can't change the rules mid-Congress. Well, they can, but it requires a 2/3 vote of the sitting Congress, of the sitting chamber of the House of Representatives. They don't have the 2/3 majority. The Democrats aren't going to sign off on any of that, so it's not going to happen. The only chance they have of changing that rule to making it happen, this 2/3 or this higher margin for discharge petitions, would be if they start out next Congress in charge of the House of Representatives. And I don't think that happens. I think the Democrats take the House by 40 to 50 seats. But they're looking at changing the rules to, or at some point, potentially, to change this discharge petition rule because it is going around Mike Johnson and he's losing control of what he's doing. It just shows, as I've talked about in several other videos, how weak they're becoming. The fact that they have to look at changing the long-standing rules for something that, only 42 discharge petitions since 1935 have made it to the House floor, and like only 1% have actually made it into be law. Something like that. It is ridiculous how few actually work. But because his position as Speaker is weakened so bad, they're worried about things actively getting passed around leadership and around the Speaker. And he's saying, maybe we need to change those rules. It's not going to matter because they're not going to be in control of the House, I don't believe, after the midterms. But they're out of ideas, and the fact that they can't govern is being brought to the forefront, especially when it's being discussed about changing rules so that they can't let something stand. That way they have a little more control.